There is so much evidence out there that Haile Selassie I was crowned King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering lion of the seed of Judah in the land that has the oldest version of the Bible. Yet still, everyone looks to Europe in the King James Version for the answers. If not, they either agree or argue over it. Yet still, it was not first. So let's listen.
I was taught that the King James Version was the first English version of the Bible. First version translated into English. Why? As a matter of fact, way before the King James, the Geneva Bible was out. King James banned the Geneva Bible.
Now, what is the Geneva Bible? And when was it written? It was written in 1560. 51 years before the King James Version, which was written in 1611. So who predates both of those? The Ethiopian Bible. Ethiopian Bible is the oldest and complete Bible on the earth, written around the 4th century or 330 AD, because they like to add 100 years to their definitions and their timing. So as you can clearly see, the Ethiopian Bible has 81 to 88 books compared to 66 in the King James Version. It includes the book of Enoch, Esdras, Baruch, and 3 books of Maccabee. So what does Esdras say? Woe be unto Babylon and Asia. Woe unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack. Here bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. Why? Because the King James Version, and he's the descendant of Egypt, for he's a descendant of Pharaohs and Cleopatra, they changed the version of the Bible. So as you can clearly see, in Revelation, it's supposed to be the coming of the Christ. In other words, he didn't die 2,000 years ago and he's going to come back again. No, he was only supposed to come during Revelation. And as you could clearly see, it says the revelation of St. John the Divine. But what did the King James Version do? They changed it. They just added in Jesus by replacing John with Jesus. So now all of a sudden it's the revelation of Jesus Christ. So who did that? A guy named King James. Hence the term
Christians from ages since before never heard of Jesus Christ. It's just the earth which needs birth to a Christ. Some spirit of Ebonites, Mesopotamian of Ebonites, Hindu Kush of Ebonites, Dravidian of Ebonites, Masada of Ebonites, Ethiopian of Ebonites, Jerusalem of Ebonites.
for Ethiopia was first, and Ethiopian Bible predates the King James Version by at least 1,200 years. So let's listen.
And you say, wait a minute, if the Geneva Bible is such a good book, why was it banned? What a king not to want to have this out. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may abide to stand against the assaults of the devil. For we wrestle not only against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers. Sounds pretty familiar so far, right? And against worldly governors, who are the princes of darkness of this world. There's a book called, by the way, New Age Bible Versions.
See what it says? No one in history was less qualified to write a Bible than King James. He refused to pardon his mother, who was beheaded for being a Catholic. King James was a cursed homosexual with the Duke of Buckingham, and threw out all reference to modesty, chastity, and purity of the body within his testaments of the Bible. So who is he? And who was his mother?
This is Henry Lord Darnley, father of King James IV and the First of England, Scotland, and Ireland. And this is Mary, Queen of the Scots, mother of King James. And this is King James himself. And here's yet another image of King James and what he really looked like. My source for all of this information comes from Cambridge University, from the book King James IV and the First Reunion of Christendom. This is one of the very few non-whitewashed images of the king that we have. And they couldn't whitewash this image because it was made on a fabric. So if they whitewashed it, it would destroy the image.